I really appreciate you joining me today, and we've got a lot of news to get through that includes the attack in Hurst Green Park, Halesowen, and arrests for the Tame Road rape that took place a month ago. Also a murder in Handsworth and a double murder in Staffordshire where 2 children lost their life, and the latest updates from around the Midlands and beyond. This is the Scarcity Studios YouTube channel. Please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. And this video is sponsored by Maurice Andrews Solicitors, Birmingham. The first story occurred yesterday when I went to the scene, and police were called at 7 PM the day before to an incident where a woman was sexually attacked inside the park. The police said this incident is not being treated as racially aggravated, but it only occurred 2 minutes away from where a woman was attacked, raped, and also racial abuse was said to her during a violent incident on the 9th of September. When I arrived at the scene, it was a very large cordon in a very big park that is, like I said, only a moment's walk from the last crime scene. And the latest update is that a 49-year-old man and 65-year-old woman from the Sandwell area have been arrested on suspicion of rape. A cordon is in place while the police carry out forensics, and the man and woman this afternoon subsequently were arrested in connection with the Tame Road Oldbury attack on the 9th of September. They remain in police custody for questioning. So I really appreciate anybody that shares this story and helps to support and try to find if anybody else is involved. For this next story, I went to Handsworth, where on Uplands Road, police and ambulance attended shortly before 10 PM on Saturday, the 11th of October. They found a man that has now been named as Barry Davison, aged 48 years old, with multiple stab wounds. He was sadly confirmed dead at the scene a short time later. Police arrested Stuart McKinns, 43 years old, and he has been charged and appeared at Birmingham Magistrates Court, charged with murder. The family of Barry paid tribute to him and said that our family are absolutely devastated. Their dad was a kind, caring and genuinely had a heart of gold. He hasn't always made the best decisions in life, and life hasn't always been easy to him, but his family, especially me and his daughter, loved him more than anything. He will be deeply missed and loved forever. So I want to send my condolences to the victim's family, and we'll definitely keep you updated on the outcome of that trial. On the same day, I then went to Scarcity, where we attended a 2-car collision in the early hours of Saturday, October the 11th. Emergency services rushed to the scene on Ribblesdale Road and Umberslade Road at 1:45 in the morning. 2 men were seriously injured and a woman remains in hospital with injuries that are not thought to be life-threatening. A man in his 20s was arrested at the scene. He also remains in a hospital and will be spoken to by police after he recovers. Police were called and told that a dark-coloured Mini and a red Volkswagen Golf were involved in the collision at around 1:45. 2 men in the Golf were taken to hospital with serious injuries, and a woman was also in hospital. A man has been arrested for dangerous driving and driving while disqualified, and the car collided with the other car, hit a lamppost, and then went for a back garden. So this story definitely highlights the dangers of driving while maybe under the influence and the risks that are posed to other people that are on the roads. Please drive safely if you're out and about on the roads. For this next story, we need to go to Stafford. We drove 30 miles to be able to cover this story that occurred on the 12th of October, where 2 children were found dead inside their home on Corporation Street, Stafford. They were a girl and a boy, and they have been named as Miraj Ul-Zara and Abdul Momin Al-Fati. They were only 2 and 3 years old. They were both found unresponsive inside the house, and their next of kin have been informed and were being supported by specially trained police. A 43-year-old woman from the Stafford area who was arrested on suspicion of murder remains in police custody while their inquiries continued. The incident was also referred to the IOPC as well. This is routine following earlier police contact, so this means that the woman had involvement with the police for some reason shortly before or time before the death of the children occurred. The latest update in this story is that the woman that was arrested following the death of the 2 children has been detained under the Mental Health Act and is being assessed by medical professionals. Police were called at 7:30 in the morning and ambulance colleagues arrived, and nothing could be done to save the children's lives. The police have thanked the local community for their understanding and help at this time. The whole road when I arrived was cordoned off, and the house was situated in the centre of the road. This is opposite a hospital as well, and there is a children's centre nearby. So due to the latest developments, it's really difficult to be able to discuss this, as we don't know if this is related to the children, we don't know if this is a complete stranger, but at the same time, the police don't want to say anything, so we can't speculate without the facts. So my condolences to these two young children, and please, if you think anybody needs help, and speak to anybody if you are struggling in life in any way, shape or form with your children. There are people out there that can help. In this next story, two men have been jailed in Birmingham after being caught with firearms and drugs. Adnan Haidar and Danyan Mahmood were handed sentences following an incident in February this year. The two men were seen in a car outside an address on Raymond Road while handling a gun. Police were called to the area with support from the helicopter, and following extensive searches, the pair was seen by the police helicopter leaving the area in a car before exiting the vehicle and discarding items before they were both stopped and detained by the police. Using a police dog, they managed to track down the discarded items that turned out to be mobile phones, cash, car keys and a shotgun. The two men were arrested for firearm offences and subsequently charged. Mahmood, 19 years old, pled guilty to possession of a firearm and possession of a knife. Haidar, 21 years old, pled not guilty, but following a one-week trial, he was found guilty of possession of a firearm and also driving offences. Mahmood from Birmingham was jailed for 5 years on the 10th of October, and Haidar from Tame Road, Birmingham, was jailed for 7 years on the same day, and this was part of Operation Target. So really appreciate you joining me for these updates. Don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. I'll be back again very shortly with some more news. Peace.